I have to do all this work here, and then after we die, we go to heaven. I'm like, okay, well, hang on a second. All the scientific evidence now, like Dr. Joe Dispenza is saying, the field governs the particle. So the particle could be, our collective energy field, and Earth being the particle. So when we hate ourselves, then the Earth hates itself. But when we love ourselves and understand that we're souls having a human experience, that our energy, our consciousness, and whether there's love in there, there's hate, determines what goes on in our body or on the earth. Like, healing from childhood trauma is the process of recalibrating one's nervous system to resonate with love, compassion, and enlightenment instead of fear, guilt, and shame. But, I've been doing that 10 years, and I finally got out of my Stockholm syndrome 10 years later. Like, it's a time consuming process. But when the environment is fear, guilt, and shame, then that's what we take in. And so, let's watch a video of Dr. Bruce Lipton, who's the godfather of epigenetics, epi meaning before genetics. He routinely says that less than 1% of our diseases are caused by our genetics. And he also uses the same Einstein quote, the field is the sole governing agency of the particle. Okay, and he has has done studies on adopted kids. And do they get the same kind of cancer as, their genetics or the environment that they're in? So let's watch and see what he can teach us here. So, this is what everything is showing now, that cancer vibrates at 100 hertz. Okay, but when we routinely love ourselves, love in the soul vibrates at 500 hertz. Enlightenment, let me bring that up. This is this is what really got me when I started to see that, oh my gosh, like if we all just understood how to operate our souls. Here, I'm going to share the map of consciousness by Dr. David R. Hawkins that shows all of the emotions. So if we could all learn how to operate our souls, and that our souls communicate via emotions, and enlightenment being an emotion, then we could all understand that we create heaven on earth, because our external reality is a projection of our internal reality. We know that now, because the field is the sole governing agency of the particle. So everything starts here and is projected onto the 5D. So I can understand, 2,000 years ago or 1,600 years ago during the Council of Nicaea, when they decided only to use 4 of the 21 Gospels from early Christianity to create what we know now as the Christian church, that they didn't understand that the hell that they were living in was self-created. And we know now that the hell we're living in is self-created. But I'll get to another, like a Carl Jung quote in a second. But here is where it shows Dr. David R. Hawkins created this chart of how different emotions vibrate at different frequencies. So, we have 20 at the bottom, and that's like shame. Oh, I know that thing is, hang on, let me see. Here we go. So 20 at the bottom, and that's shame. We go up to grief is 75, courage being 200. Well, cancer cells resonate at like 100 hertz. And we know that the highest vibrating energy is the most transformative. So if you heal yourself and recalibrate your nervous system to resonate with love, peace and enlightenment, then you're going to be resonating at 500 and 1,000 hertz routinely. Cancer cells can't survive in that environment. They won't survive because it naturally, let me show you another physics experiment. Let me close this down. It's called the synchronization experiment. You've heard that you're the summary of the 5 people you spend the most time around, right? Well, this is the physics experiment showing how that's true. Okay, so here we go. So we have the two in the middle, the second and the third one are the fastest ones. So you'll see that pretty quickly the other 3 aligned with the 2 fastest ones. So when a soul is routinely in love, joy and enlightenment, being 500 or 1,000 hertz, the fastest vibrating energy, then all the other souls that soul comes into contact with will naturally align with their higher vibrating energy, just like these 5 metrodome naturally align with the fastest metrodome. Like, I haven't been sick since before COVID, it's 2026. Okay, so proof's in the pudding, right? So when we think about, how we can help everyone change, that's proof that changing the world is an inside job. It's the energy. We have to change our energy. We have to change our hate into love to co create heaven on earth together.